youth movement called Break the Chain that focuses on tobacco prevention in teens, and a subgroup at Manor High School called One Life, One Goal. Joining us today is the program manager, Adam Niederpruem, to tell us about this movement and why it's so important to get these teens involved. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Why is it so important?
Well, I think Break the Chain establishes that tobacco prevention needs to be a youth movement because tobacco companies still manipulate our youth and try to get them as users in new products and new ways so they can be lifelong customers.
And this is an after-school program. It encourages leadership, and what are some of the activities that you get teens involved with?
Sure. Well, what I do is I go to existing after-school programs and I set up service learning projects with after-school programs. So whatever their expertise is, whether it's improv comedy, or cooking, I use that as the motivation to bring in tobacco prevention.
You mentioned the kind of propaganda and marketing tools that tobacco companies use. What are some of their tactics to attract teens?
Sure. It's everything as simple as bright colors and packaging to still the tobacco delivery method. So from, you know, chew, which is just loose tobacco, into little defined pockets called snus and put in shiny containers. That's just one example of what tobacco companies are doing.
And what are we talking numbers-wise when we look at teens and tobacco use?
Well, as far as state of Texas, it's about 75% to 85% of teens don't use any kind of tobacco, so we're using that as a kind of majority rules angle.
And this group at Manor High School is kind of your pilot program, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, the group in Manor, One Life, One Goal, has been fantastic. Joretta Jimerson Davenport has just been working with kids for about 3 years, and they've had everything from student lock-ins to karaoke events, and we just got back from a leadership event with kids out in Hunt, Texas.
In Hunt, Texas, yeah, very nice. And this is all part of the Live Tobacco-Free Austin campaign as well.
Yes, and there's a statewide event that's even bigger, the Say What campaign, that is trying to push this kind of movement statewide.
And they always say easier to never use tobacco than to break the habit.
Absolutely.
That's right. Thanks for joining us this morning.